Merry meet everybody, Rowan here. Hope you're all having a blessed, magical, witchy day, whatever you're up to. I am doing today I'm also de-sprigging my dried rosemary. I seem to be constantly doing this because there's a wide spread of rosemary through Eastbourne. You can get it everywhere. But now I'm doing the 21 Witchy Questions tag. Sunshine Morning Ray, you goddess you, gave me a shout out in her top 5 witches, and so I'm doing the tag response. I've written all the questions down, so you're going to keep seeing me going, because I forgot my glasses, they're over there somewhere and I don't want to go and get them. So, excuse me. Question 1. What background of witchcraft do you follow? I'd say I'm very traditional Wiccan witch. If I had to put a label on me, I'd say that I am a green witch. I am a tree-hugging, barefoot, dirt under my fingernails. If you're in doubt of what a herb is, pick it and sniff it. Making incenses, healing remedies, tinctures, poultices, herbal, everything. Everything green, all spell work that involves herbs. I'm an earth sign, so I'm very in touch with my earth sign. So, question 2. What is your favourite witchy thing to do? Rituals and spell work, to be honest, and anything that involves said herbs. Number 3. What type of magic do you like to do? I wonder, that would be herbs. Anything that does involve herbs. I am actually quite a big fan of potions, but I also enjoy candle magic very, very much. Name your top 5 herbs. That'd be fairly easy. Comfrey, lavender, sage, calendula, rosemary. There we go. What is my favourite type of divination? That would be scrying or dowsing, especially with my sexy new wooden pendulums. By the way, I mean they're both absolutely stunning, but the elm pendulum, oh, she just speaks to me, she really does. Whoops, I still have a bug on here. Here you go, you little thing. How did you come to practice witchcraft? When I was about 16, I'm 28 now. When I was about 16, I was wandering through Eastbourne and I stumbled upon a shop called The Green Man. It's sadly no longer there, but and it was basically a Wiccan pagan bookstore. They had a ritual and circle space downstairs and they had workshop upstairs. And I've since come to learn that the founders of Hunter's Moon Morris, my Morris group, Diane and Jerry, were the owners and managers of the Green Man bookshop, along with 2 of the other friends who I Morris danced with, and whom I went arching with the other day. And I picked up a book from the bookshelf, and it was The Charge of the Goddess by Doreen Valiente, sorry, that's because I also have a lot of Doreen Virtue's books. Whoops. And within 1 paragraph I knew that I had come home, I knew that I had found something that, not found something, but I had unlocked what was deep within me. My biological mother has, she's French, and she has a long tradition of French Romany Gypsy, which the French Romany Gypsies were basically just witches, so you could kind of say it's in my blood. And I just started learning, and I started fully practicing when I was 17, 18, and then had my initiation not long after, and I've just stuck with it. I absolutely adore my craft and everything involved. Are you in a coven or are you solitary? I am solitary. I really do like the idea of being covened. It's something that I would love to do. whilst obviously at the same time still doing my solitary practices. I'd feel very uncomfortable in, because I've heard it happen a few times with other people where they've been covened or they've been initiated into a coven, and they've pretty much been banned from doing anything by themselves, which personally I think is just so wrong, so wrong. I have toyed with the idea for a while of creating my own coven, but I'm not in a place quite yet that I have the confidence and the, I don't know, just the confidence to be able to do that. I'm a very confident witch, but I'm not quite sure that I'd be a very confident leader. Plus I haven't done any of my degrees or anything, so there's no way that I could be classed as a high priestess or anything. What is your favourite excuse me, cough, Esbat, Sabbat or solstice? My favourite Esbat would be the full moon. My favourite Sabbat would be Beltane, because I am a Capricorn, so I'm a horny goat, so when the god and the goddess come together and get it on, I just think it's a magical time for the whole planet, earth and sky. It's when everything comes into creation and I just love it. Second favourite would be Lammas. But that's also because Eastbourne, where I am, we're lucky enough, and I've mentioned it in a few comments on my last video, we're lucky enough to have a huge 3-day Lammas festival in Eastbourne, so that has something big to do with it. At Beltane I go to Hastings Jack in the Green, which again, that's a 2-day I think. It's a huge festival, so really lucky to have that. And I just love the energies of those times of year. I do love Yule. I really, really love Yule, but that's mainly because I get to make and give gifts, and we all know that I'm a big gift giver. I absolutely love it. And it means loads and loads of bacon, which I love. Favourite witchy movie? Practical Magic, easy. I know it word for word. Second favourite would be The Craft. I know a lot of people slate it, but everybody's different. I absolutely love it. I think Nancy is amazing. She's so funny. A little unhinged, but very cool. Favourite witchy book, learning, reference and fiction? Fiction, I don't actually think I've ever read a fictional book about the craft in any way. Personally, I kind of stayed away from books. I mean, I've been given a few, but they're sitting on my bookcase, I've never read them. In terms of learning, one of the first books that I bought for myself was Wicca for Beginners by Thea Sabin. I know a lot of people have it. But I think my top favourite one at the moment, let's say, pardon me, would be, it was given to me actually by one of my partner's friends, and it's well thumbed, is the book of the complete book of Incense, Oils and Brews by Scott Cunningham. It's got recipes galore in there for all tinctures and oils, brews, incenses, charms, baths, sachets, right the way through from elemental ones, Sabbat ones, altar cleansing ones, spellwork ones. Nearly smashed my glass. I read it in the bath, I read it on the loo, I read it in bed, I read it on the bus. I use it nearly every day. It's amazing. So the next one. Favourite witchy show? Charmed, without a shadow of a doubt. Love it. Gutted when it finished. Lucky enough to have it all on my computer. Favourite colour and what does it mean to me? Favourite colour is purple in its many forms. Sunshine Morning Ray. Purple, 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 purple. See how many times we can say purple, purple. You really made me chuckle with that. Not just purple, well, I'm talking like amethyst, indigo, violet, lilac, magenta, all of them, every single shade of purple. And greens, love greens as well. I find it really hard to pick like one thing. When somebody says what's a favourite, I'm like, don't make me choose, I can't. Oh, that's where I was. There we are. What type of... oh no, I forgot the end part of that question on what does it mean to me. Purple, for me, it's a very feminine colour. It's a very almost regal colour. It just makes, whenever I wear purple or I surround myself in things that are purple, I just get this really, really divine, naturally rooted feeling of I'm not just a woman, I'm a goddess in my own right, and god damn, that feels good. And it's quite a self-assuring colour for me, so I think that answers that question. What type of animal, creature, person is your spirit guide and or totem animal? My spirit guide is an amazing woman. She's beautiful, she's English, she's a mother, she's just lovely. I don't want to talk about her too much because she's a very, very reserved, quiet, personal entity. Totem animal, I honestly don't know. I would think I would have to say a cat, because well, not just because I love cats, but wherever I go, if there's a cat kind of like wandering around somebody's garden, I don't even have to be like, come here. I don't even have to do that. They will stop and they'll look at me and they'll come over to me and they'll investigate me, or they'll be like yowling at me and climbing all over me, etc. There's like this connection. But also, I would say the fox as well, because just because I see them so often, I've not known any of my friends to have so much contact with foxes, and we have this kind of downstairs where I go and have my cigarettes. I can be sitting on the step and I'll be fiddling with my phone or making a rollie, and I'll look up and there'll be a bitch fox or a dog fox just sat at the end of the path, just looking at me, just like, hey, how you doing? Having a good day? Cool. See you later. That kind of thing. It's just such a natural connection. So yeah, I'd have to say fox as well. How many lives do I think I've had? I'd say I've had 2 at least. I know I was definitely born in the wrong era. I definitely feel like I have strong roots within the medieval period, like the 15th century. Which is also kind of handy because my partner, my darling man, does the medieval reenactment. He fights, he wears full armour, he fights with real weapons, he goes out on a battlefield and he fights other men. It's wonderful. But it also means that I get to make, and I do make as a part of my seamstress skills, make all of the 15th century and the medieval clothing, and the coifs, which are the headdresses, and the kirtles, which are the dresses, and the cloaks, and everything. And it's just such a natural feeling for me, completely natural, that feeling of living underneath this gorgeous canvas bell tent and cooking on a grill rail over an open fire and preparing herbs while sitting on a gorgeous little wooden stool and watching the cows walk past. Just, that's me, and I love it. And I've got a really sore throat. Oh, that's better. What is my element? I am an earth sign, and my goodness, am I an earth sign. As I said, barefoot, tree hugging, herb harvesting, planting, digging up, pulling up the weeds with my bare hands, picking things and sniffing them to find out what they are, hugging trees, talking to plants. Earth, earth, earth. It's just, it's weird because I'm quite a, how shall I say it? I'm quite a excitable, I think is the right word. Flamboyant, I don't know. Excitable, I think is the right word. That one's done. Person, but there's a gorgeous sense for me in my connection to my earth sign of this, not like grounding, but grounded, rooted to the earth. I have like a taproot connection to my earth, and I love it, and I work with that an awful lot. I'm getting, see how much rosemary I'm getting off these like few, oh, beautiful. What is my astrology sign? As I mentioned just before, it's Capricorn. I am a horny goat. Yeah. Who is your goddess and god? early on along my path, on our path, I connected very, very heavily with Diana and Pan. As I've grown and as I've come further along path, they haven't left me by any means, but I'm feeling a much stronger connection, and I work with a lot more Cananus and Caradwen. Almost in the sense of having that genuine emotion connection that feels like mother and father, like I can turn to them like parent figures, which I think is, in a way, I think that's the essence of a matron and patron, goddess and god, personally. My favourite crystal, amethyst, without a shadow of a doubt. I have a stunning, bear with me, whoops, my Morris scarf is still down there. I have my stunning amethyst, which sits on my altar. I often take this off and just sit with her and just feel she's absolutely stunning. Actually, I'm going to sit her down here with my rosemary as I work. Next after that would be Moonstone, connection to Our Lady Luna. I'm obsessed with the moon. I love her so much. I'd like to go to her and sit on her and hug her. Favourite witchy tool? I genuinely don't think I can choose. I suppose if I had to, if somebody put an anathema to my head, I'd have to say my Book of Shadows. I work on my Book of Shadows a lot. Well, I say my Book of Shadows, I mean my books of shadows. I have a Book of Shadows that is purely for spell work. I have a Book of Shadows that is for rituals. I have a Book of Shadows that is for recipes. And I have almost like a journal Book of Shadows, which I keep in my bedroom for writing down dreams, thoughts, realizations, conversations with my spirit guide, with the god and the goddess, with Lady Luna. So I'd say it'd have to be those. I'm also a bit of a book whore. Anything that, for example, you can't see it in here, but any form of notebook, so like the bare naked Books of Shadows before you do anything to them. I love them, especially if they're leather bound. I'm hooked. Favourite witchy craft for me to do: harvesting herbs, preparing herbs, making tinctures, making brews, making potions, healing spell works that involve herbs, anything herbal. Can you tell I like herbs? Shout out to the top 5 witches for me on YouTube. Well, I was going to put Sunshine Morning Ray in this, but considering she did the shout out for me, I won't list her in this list. However, she is a goddess, and I think she is amazing. I love you, lady. You're awesome. And this isn't in any particular order, I just wrote them out as they came into my head. First one would be Kitchen Witchable. Awesome. I turned into Sean Connery. Awesome. Welsh lovely. She's beautiful. She's absolutely amazing. Next would be Annie, Mirth and Reference. Reference? Oh, what is wrong with me today? Mirth and Reverence. That would be the one. Then would be Morgana. Laura Dallaghan. She does the most amazing Totem Tuesdays on totem animals. And she's in London, and London rocks. And then the channel is called Living a Magical Life, and I'm sorry, I can never pronounce your name properly. Sibarasri? Honestly, I'm so sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. I'm awful with pronunciations. It took me 2 years to learn how to say Cananus. But that's just me. And that's actually worked out really nicely, because I got to the 21st question at the end of my harvesting my herbs. So I'm going to sit my amethyst in there to cleanse this gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. And that's going to sit and be, I don't know if you can see it, it's going to sit there and be beautiful. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed my response to the 21 questions of the Witch tag. I've just remembered I have no makeup on, so sorry for this gorgeous thing that you have in front of you. Every now and again I like to have a day where I just go, I'm going to let my skin breathe and just be natural. So yeah, if you've seen this, you're tagged, you're it, it's your turn. I want to see video responses. Anyway, I hope you're all having a beautiful day or sleeping well wherever you are on this gorgeous green earth. I love you all, and I'll see you very soon. Blessed be.